This is breakfast for these cows on a dairy farm at the University of California, Davis. They are getting an additional unusual ingredient in their food, seaweed.
We mix it with molasses, so it's a nice little sweet treat for them. We try to mix it as well as we can into their feed, but we have some cows that'll pick it out, and we have some cows that'll go right for the seaweed.
The researchers are studying whether small amounts of seaweed to cattle feed can help reduce the livestock's emissions of methane, a potent greenhouse gas that's released when they burp, pass gas, or make manure. A dozen cows were fed ocean algae, which was mixed into their feed. Before feeding the seaweed to the cows, the researchers tested in this lab, where they can measure emissions in fermenters that simulate cattle stomachs.
And what we have basically here is 6 individual guts, and we can run them in parallel, and we can test the effect of different feed additives on the gut microbiology.
Milk samples are also tested for flavor and nutritional value, and the methane content of the cow's breath is measured when they stick their heads into these feeding machines. The researchers discovered that methane emissions were reduced by more than 30%.
And so far, it's very encouraging.
Dairy farms and other livestock operations are major sources of methane, and California is requiring them to cut those emissions by 40% by 2030.
Reducing methane ultimately means reducing greenhouse gases and reducing the impacts of climate change. So it affects everybody in the globe.
More studies are needed to determine the safety and effectiveness of the seaweed feed. Deborah, VOA News.